It's a detail most people barely think about, yet it appears in nearly every city, country, and community around the world. The color of a police officer's uniform feels almost universal, but that wasn't always the case, and it definitely wasn't chosen by accident. Long before standardized uniforms existed, law enforcement looked very different, and the shift toward a consistent appearance tells a bigger story about authority, identity, and public trust. So why do police officers wear blue? Why did one particular color become so closely tied to policing across so many nations? Today, we're breaking it all down, right here, on History of Simple Things. In the early stages of organized policing, especially in the 18th and early 19th centuries, there was no consistent uniform for officers. Many forms of law enforcement were carried out by night watchmen, constables, or locally appointed individuals who simply wore their normal clothing while on duty. Because of this, it was often difficult for the public to distinguish between an officer and an ordinary civilian, particularly during emergencies or in crowded areas. As cities grew and crime prevention became more structured, governments recognized the need for a visible and recognizable authority figure. A standardized uniform became an important solution, not only for identification, but also for building legitimacy and public confidence in the emerging idea of professional policing. When early police forces began experimenting with uniforms, color selection was a deliberate decision rather than an aesthetic one. At the time, military forces in many countries commonly wore bold and highly visible colors, such as red or bright ceremonial tones. Authorities wanted to avoid any visual association between police officers and soldiers, since their roles were meant to be fundamentally different. Police were intended to enforce local law and maintain order in civilian spaces, not act as a military presence. Dark blue emerged as a practical alternative because it was distinct from military colors while still communicating authority and seriousness. It also had a calmer visual tone, which helped reinforce the idea that policing was meant to stabilize situations rather than escalate them. One of the most influential developments in modern policing came with the formation of an organized police force in London in 1829. This model emphasized prevention of crime through visible presence, and its structure quickly became a reference point for other countries. The uniform adopted by this force, which included dark blue garments, played a major role in shaping how police were visually represented. As British administrative and policing systems expanded or influenced other regions, many adopted similar frameworks, including uniform design. Over time, this created a strong international association between blue uniforms and legitimate law enforcement. Beyond symbolism, there were also practical considerations that made blue an effective choice for police uniforms. Early officers often worked long hours outdoors, frequently exposed to dirt, weather, and physical activity. Dark blue fabric had the advantage of concealing stains and wear better than lighter colors, allowing officers to maintain a more presentable appearance throughout their shifts. At the time, textile dye technology also played a role in this decision, as darker dyes were more stable and less prone to fading under sunlight or frequent washing. This made blue uniforms more durable and cost-efficient for rapidly growing police departments that needed consistent and long-lasting clothing for large numbers of officers. Color perception also influenced why blue became so closely associated with policing. Psychologically, blue is often linked to qualities such as calmness, stability, and trust. These associations are not accidental. They come from both cultural interpretation and natural observations, such as the calm appearance of the sky or water. In the context of law enforcement, these qualities are important because police officers frequently interact with the public during tense or uncertain situations. A uniform color that communicates steadiness rather than aggression helps shape initial impressions before any interaction even begins. Although blue is widely recognized as the standard color for police uniforms, it is not universal. Different countries have developed variations based on climate, tradition, and functional needs. In warmer regions, lighter-colored uniforms may be used to improve comfort during long hours of duty. Some countries also use black, green, or mixed-color designs depending on the structure of their police forces and the environments in which officers operate. Specialized units, such as tactical response teams, often wear darker or more practical gear designed for specific operational requirements rather than public visibility. Despite these differences, blue remains the most common and recognizable color for general policing in many parts of the world. The choice of blue in police uniforms wasn't the result of a single decision, but a mix of history, practicality, and perception coming together over time. What started as a way to separate police from the military slowly became a global standard linked to authority and public trust. Practical advantages like durability helped reinforce the color, while its calm and stable association shaped how it is seen by the public. Today, even as uniforms continue to evolve, blue remains a consistent reminder of how tradition and function can shape something we encounter every day without really noticing it. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.